No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Realm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of Break It Down with Brian H. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, brought to you by the Wrestling Realm. For those who do not know, for those who may be new to the podcast, make sure you are subscribed right here on YouTube. If you're watching, you can look right at your screen. It'll tell you where you can find us. But if not, let me tell you. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. You name it, we are there. And of course, you want to make sure that if you're listening to us on the audio platforms, you definitely want to tune in on YouTube. You can do it for absolutely free, as well as make sure you're following us at Wrestling Realm. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook fan page at the Wrestling Realm. So, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed that the title for this show is MJF becomes Cody's nightmare. So, full disclaimer here. Currently, I'm sitting in my hotel room in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here for work for my day job, and I've been sent to go do some live tweeting, which you can. I'll tell you where to follow. It's at Hopkins Men News because I'm putting together a lot of effort, so I definitely want as many eyeballs on the products. So, but I'm here, and Full Gear took place in Baltimore, Maryland. For those who know, I'm from there, born and raised. And, I was like, man, I couldn't make it. It's so sad I couldn't make it to Full Gear. But, nonetheless, things happen, but I was happy to be able to come here, and then I was able to see some of the highlights on some of the show. Didn't get a chance to, I was busy, so I watched the highlights. I saw that Chris Jericho has retained the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He came in undefeated, and he's leaving undefeated. I don't have a problem with that. I'm pretty sure he celebrated with a little bit of bubbly at Jimmy Seafood or down in Canton or Fells Point or Baltimore Street. He said he was going to be in the streets of Baltimore, so those are some places he may have been. But then we move to the top story today, MJF. So everybody saw this coming. We all knew eventually he was going to turn on Cody Rhodes. Why? Well, let's look at it from a kayfabe standpoint, then look at it from a business standpoint, right? From the kayfabe standpoint, he was being really nice, and he kept talking about how much Cody was his best friend and how much he loved him. And you just knew he wasn't trustworthy. This is a guy who just loves himself. All of a sudden, he loves another man. Now, I wasn't buying it. Now, to break it down from the business standpoint, this is an opportunity for Cody Rhodes to put a young superstar over and elevate him to new heights. As wrestling fans, we've been watching him and say, okay, this guy, he's up and coming. Well, being in a feud with Cody we can see how far he's going to go, and he's in the ring in a program with the top dog. You go to the match. Cody, I enjoyed the match, Cody and Jericho. I have to say, ever since Cody's left the WWE, I've been enjoying more and more of his matches. I was disappointed with him and Kenny Omega at New Japan, or was the Ring of Honor Supercard a few years ago during the weekend of WrestleMania 34. However, since his match with Nick Aldis, I liked it. The match with his brother Dustin, incredible. This match with Jericho, definitely good. They told a great story. But you go to the match. What I loved about this was the fact that they didn't do a traditional turn. It wasn't a missed bump. It wasn't a blatant turn. No. We saw Cody Rhodes in the Lion Tamer, the Walls of Jericho, or whatever Chris Jericho's going to call it. But he's in that and he's not moving, but he's in pain. And then MJF grabbed the towel and threw it in. Old school. I thought it took me back to Bob Backlund and Bret Hart. That's always the towel spot I think of. When when Owen Hart begged his parents to throw in the towel because it was his brother. 9 minutes. 9 minutes Bret Hart was in that chicken wing. And Owen begged him. And she did. She threw in the towel. And Bret Hart would become, Bob Backlund would become the new WWE champion. We all knew that was just a transitional champion, so Diesel could get it. But nonetheless, I thought it was spot on. So, they brought this back, and it's just something different. Yeah, Cody took a butt whooping, which I'm about to show you guys in a quick second. He took a butt whooping, a really bad one. To the point that AEW tweeted a medical update. 8 stitches and a conchoidal separation. He is not cleared for ring action. Oh, it looked nasty, folks. But you best believe, because Cody can't challenge for the world championship anymore. I think that will last for a while just because they're going to try the whole integrity of his statement. I personally would have loved to see Cody win the title, but I'm glad that the way this happened. Maybe he put it in his contract. Maybe he was ahead of the game. Who knows? But the fact is, what we saw was MJF pretending to be concerned only to screw Cody in the end and rob him of the most prestigious championship that he could obtain. And I know people will say, well, he was NWA World Champion. Yeah, but you got to remember, this is his company. This is going to be bigger to him than anything else. And MJF robbed him of that. Let's move on. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. These guys beat the crap out of each other. It's wow. That's all I can say. It was everything we thought it was going to be and more. So much it was what they deemed, what they deemed a lights out match. Non-sanctioned. So now, what's next? I know people was out there saying we want to see Moxley challenge for the AEW Championship, and maybe he just doesn't want that responsibility. So who knows? But I'll tell you a match I really enjoyed, and that was Britt Baker versus B Priestley. I've been, a little vocal about how I've seen why people have been getting on Britt Baker lately, and me personally haven't been the biggest fan of what she's done in the AEW ring because I've seen her do better. This right here was a great storytelling. It was on the opening show, the pre-show, and she beat. If I had to have a gripe with the match, like I said, I thought they told a great story. The story going is B Priestley injured Baker and gave her a concussion, and by that happening, it was just like, wow, she says you intended to hurt me, you didn't apologize, you didn't say sorry, so now we got a real issue here. And you felt it throughout the match, and in the end, because she said she was going to get her, and she was going to, she used the medical terms, and I like that. Now, I will say, I do want to see Britt Baker be a heel. I don't need her to be a babyface. I need her to be a heel. But who knows? She went out there, and she, quite frankly, she did her thing. And I like the fact that we got, like I said, I really enjoyed the match, and I want to see what happens next. But I love the finish, and if I had one gripe with this match, and if I had to choose, is that I wish she would have kept her in her finisher longer. And the reason why, because as soon as she got in, she tapped out. She was not playing around. She tapped out immediately. And so I'm like, man, maybe maybe keep her in just a tad bit longer. But who knows? But nonetheless, like I said, still a great match. Not a great match, but I mean, for me it was. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm going to watch it time and time again. But for what it was, for the story, I loved it. It's exactly what I wanted out of those two. But as I try to get this, because I forgot to get this in post-production, for those watching on the screen, after the match, we saw Kong and Brandy enter the ring. Now, we've seen Brandy bring Kong before, and I believe it was at All Out, and it shocked the world. But now, I mean, she's letting everybody know they come in and kick butt and take names. They came out there and she, destroyed what was left in the ring. That was B. Priestley. See, I mean, Kong, that's what she does. I mean, who's stepping up to her? So I do know behind the scenes she's a coach for the company. I want to see what happened. Because she will, people may complain about this women's division. She's somebody that you'll pay attention to, bottom line. So, and that's just a beautiful shot. If you're on YouTube, it's a beautiful shot right there. Shout out to AEW, Brandy, and Awesome Kong. So let's move on. Santana and Ortiz victorious over the Young Bucks. Young Bucks had an interesting promo package where they discuss that perhaps maybe they're not the best tag team in the world anymore. Perhaps, they understand that there are other people coming and they can't confidently say they're the best. And I like that. I don't think they won that many matches. They lost, but this, it's another loss. And we all know that they are executive VPs. And all of the executive VPs lost at Full Gear. So, but this was, hard hitting. We saw a return, or we saw an appearance from the Rock and Roll Express. So, that's always good when you see the legends like that. Another good match was Rio. Let me make sure I got the lady's name right. Rio retaining her women's championship as I gotta make sure. I'm sorry. I just gotta make sure I get the name right because I don't want to disrespect the lady on there. Ima Sakura. So this is one of the few matches I was able to watch in full, and it was a solid match. They do have Kenny Omega did a great job explaining the history between them two. If you look at his Twitter account, if you look at Kenny Omega's Twitter account, you'll see where he discussed, he laid out their matches, all the outline, every match that they had with each other, and why this was a big deal. I wish that the company could have found a way to do what Kenny Omega did on Twitter. I wish they could have found a way to do that as we led up to this match. I know it's only 2 hours. We don't have the fortune like we do with the WWE to always have like 24 hours programming, so you can always see something new or always see a big match being promoted. So I thought they did a good job as far as what they could in the ring, and I really appreciate what Kenny Omega did for these two. It was Rio retaining her women's championship. I'll tell you a match that surprised me. Shawn Spears and Joey Janela. I have to admit, folks, I'm kind of getting on the Shawn Spears train. And those who out there who listen, they know. A year ago, I posted a clip. There was nothing that was a perfect 10 about Ty Dillinger. But he's gone to AEW. He's changed his look. He's got Tully Blanchard behind him. And, he looks like a big deal. He went out there, did what he had to do. He beat Joey Janela. And, this guy can be something special. I think that's what they want to do. Like I said, the look change. He's not. I want to see where they go from here. I need to see him on TV with Tully, and I need to see him going around kicking butts and taking names. He doesn't need to be in the inner circle. And I think AEW, the show is something different. Give us a heel versus heel matchup. Put him in a story with a Chris Jericho. So I thought this was solid. So, it was, overall the show was decent. Not gonna go much further into it, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break before I get into SmackDown. It should have been The Rock and Triple H, the match we got at Backlash. When you think about some of the top rivalries we've seen in professional wrestling, we've seen Hogan and Savage in the main event. We've seen Hogan and Warrior, Hogan and Andre. We've seen Brett and Shawn.
Okay.
We've seen Austin and Rock. We got even John Cena and Batista. We never got Randy Orton and John Cena one-on-one at Mania.
Okay.
Don't want it now. But we never got Rock and Triple H one-on-one at WrestleMania. That was the time to do it. The Rock had just won the Royal Rumble. Triple H was the hottest heel in professional wrestling. There was no need for the Big Show. There was no need for Mick Foley.
Yeah, it might have been a bit excessive. I guess you got a point there when you put it that way.
Yeah, you go back and look at that WrestleMania. There's only one singles match.
Yeah.
You remember what that match was?
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving on to SmackDown. Make sure I get this lined up right. Folks, before I get into that, make sure you are subscribed to the Wrealm. That was a clip from our Give Me the Book episode. On Give Me the Book, we take things and we rebook them. So, as you heard, I just wanted to rebook WrestleMania 2000. Talk to me about it. Let me know what you think. Watch the episode first. Let me know what you think. Did you like WrestleMania 2000? Maybe you did. I didn't. Well, it could have been so much better. You heard it. But, yeah, folks. Has The Fiend hand selected his own challenger for the Universal Championship? So, some history here. Before Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, they was backstage. Sami Zayn was trying to recruit Daniel Bryan. It's like, come on, man. You need to come with me. And Daniel was not having that. He won't give an answer. And we saw what we saw was that he's been, even when Cesaro and Shinsuke defeated Ali and Shorty G, he was standing there looking like, big deal. That's nice. But he still wasn't having it. Well, that led, and actually, I'll even, show you some photos from that match while I pull up this other one, because I want you to see Daniel Bryan, which that was actually a decent match, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was a decent match. Let me see. Yeah, it was Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura victorious. But you saw Daniel Bryan right there, standing in the back. And Sami Zayn's like, what's the problem? You need to come on. But then, while they were talking, showed the WWE Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And Sami Zayn got out of there. But Bray Wyatt would hit Daniel Bryan with the mandible claw. Then he tweeted on Saturday, November 9th, his hand extended out to Daniel Bryan when Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family was trying to recruit Daniel Bryan. What does this mean? I'll tell you one thing. If this means I'm going to get The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, and later on I'm going to get another Daniel Bryan WWE championship, or in this case, Universal Championship reign, I am for it. Give it to me right now. He's been going out there every week proving why he's one of the best in the world. I believe he is marketable to Fox networks. And you put the chase, and then you also got Sami Zayn, who can give us, maybe pump Cesaro. Can you imagine Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro? I know I got away from The Fiend, but, just hear me out here. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro for the WWE Universal Championship. Yeah, we already know we're not going to get it. But if we do, y'all remember episode 92, Break It Down with Brian H. So, but I like this. I like where they're going with this, because that's what the big question was, right? What's next? Who's next for The Fiend? And, I mean, why not Daniel Bryan? We know they have good chemistry in the ring. And now this Fiend is going around, it's kind of like he's going around. He's going to get back everybody who's, done Bray Wyatt wrong. So we shall see. But let's move on. We got new WWE Tag Team Champions. Yes, the Revival dropped the tag titles to the New Day. I know it's 7 times I think this is now. And some people may not like it. I have no problem with it. Not gonna lie to you. I have no problem with it at all. The New Day has always been a solid team since they came up, since they joined forces, even though people may not think so. But yeah, I think they're a solid team. So I think this is a good move to put the tag titles on them. I want to see what happens. The Revival, Arn Anderson puts them over almost every week, says there's no way him and Tully were like this. These two at that age said they know and they're very smart. So, but yeah, it's good to see. Congratulations to Kofi Kingston and Xavier, and Big E winning the tag titles. And then they tweeted, Xavier Woods tweeted, hell yeah, he added them, hashtag New Day Rule. And then Kofi tweeted, you ain't never lie, we did it for you, dog, we did it for you, hashtag XW, hashtag New Day Rule. And I know people want to see what's going to happen with Kofi. Is he going to turn? Maybe this could be the setup. Only time will tell. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this one. Speaking of tag teams, did the WWE give us a new tag team, a new alliance? Tyson Fury, Braun Strowman. They went out there and, basically showed how much they have respect for each other. And Fury said, I would team up with you. Braun's like, nobody's going to be dumb enough. And all of a sudden, the B team said, yeah, we would be. And, of course, they both got those hands. Let me ask you guys, do you want to see Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury become a tag team? And if they do, who in the world is going to stop him? I mean, yeah, I know people out there who want to be literal, say, yeah, we said the same thing about Undertaker and Big Show, or Undertaker and Kane, or Kane and Big Show. Whatever. But still, like, who's going to stop these two dudes? They're monsters. No, they'll take the titles easily from the New Day. Moving on, SmackDown Live, I should say SmackDown, women's matchup. Winner gets to represent Team SmackDown at Survivor Series, joining Sasha Banks. We had Carmella and Dana Brooke teaming up, go against Fire and Desire. And I really enjoyed the fact that WWE's now seem like they found something to do with Dana Brooke. I've been a huge fan of hers, y'all know. And it was her who was able to go out there and score the pinfall victory. So, I mean, there's something there, right? I don't know what it is. I like her. It's not, I do like how she look, and, but I think there's something there. I really love the fact that when she was with Charlotte, as Vince Ric Flair would say, she's found her iron, but that whatever reason they didn't want to do that. But I think, teaming her and Carmella we can see, these two ladies, they go out there and have a good show, and they could be your next WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So, we saw another invasion, folks, as Imperium came out and attacked Heavy Machinery. So, I know a lot of people say, is the UK going to be involved? This NXT attack. Well, what better way to do it, right? Now, I know we're getting Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio, but you trying to tell me that Brock Lesnar versus Walter wouldn't sell? I mean, that right there would let everybody know who Walter is. The whole United States. And then people were like, I gotta watch this NXT UK. That's my opinion. But yeah, Imperium came out there, and I mean, they did damage even before, and they got in, got out, because the rest of the tag team division came out there and was able to break that up. And moving on, Sasha Banks took on Nikki Cross, and Sasha Banks, continued her winning ways. I love this Sasha. Have I said that? Yeah, I said that enough. But yeah, she was able to score tap out, submission victory. And then, angry from last week, Bayley would jump in and she would attack Nikki Cross just because she could, until she was met with her Survivor Series opponent, the NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler. Now, when I see Shayna Baszler, folks, I'm like, man, who is stopping her? I just don't see who can stop Shayna Baszler. But no, in all seriousness, this is the matchup I want to see. I want to see this one-on-one. I want to see Shayna Baszler versus Bayley. I do believe Becky Lynch is involved, but I want to see this as a one-on-one match, because Bayley and Sasha have been talking about how much they've been paving the way, and that's true. But if anybody, and now here comes Shayna Baszler, and she keeps these sneak attacks, but I think that Bayley, especially this new Bayley, can get to Shayna. We're going to find out. But, and speaking of Sasha, you may have seen she got some new theme music. She has some new theme music that she debuted, and it's got Snoop Dogg. So I can't wait till that's on iTunes. Go ahead and let her explain her new music.
Sasha Banks, tonight was your very first match on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, and something seemed a little different out there tonight. Do you care to elaborate on that?
I mean, if I'm going to make a big re-debut of wrestling coming back, I say why not make a change? I've already came back with new hair, a new attitude, a whole new me, a better me actually. So why not brand new music from my cousin, Snoop Dogg?
And then how much work went into getting Snoop Dogg? Being your cousin, it was relatively easy, correct?
For me, I just had to make one phone call. So I said, a ring-a-ling-a-ling, can you make the song, please? I'll give you that bling bling. See, I'm a good rapper too. But it cost a lot of money for that. And thankfully, I'm really rich. And I kind of know a guy that can kind of pay my cousin. And he kind of paid me too. So I'm very happy. I have a lot of money. And I just really can't wait to get out of Manchester because this place stinks.
Well, before you do leave Manchester, do you feel that this new song invokes the emotion of the new attitude you seem to have?
Bow down to the next champ of the WWE. I like the sound of that. So, of course, yes.
Bow down to the next champ of the WWE. So Sasha, that means you're going to take the belt from your best friend Bayley, or you're going to go take Becky Lynch's belt and then bring it back to SmackDown, or bring it to SmackDown, which I would like to see. But yeah, I love the fact that we got this thing with Sasha, who keeps putting over the fact that Vince McMahon pays her a lot of money. I really like this, but even though she's the boss, right? I know that really the boss is paying her a lot of money. But I do like this. I want to see what's next. I can't wait for Survivor Series, because I think she may be the sole survivor of the match. That's she's out the point. She has a point to prove. Out to make statement. she should be the sole survivor of the match. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. I appreciate you listening as I come to you live from Hotlanta, Georgia. Gotta give a shout out to my friend Callie Kinsler. She gave me treated me to a grade A tour and tickets to the Atlanta Hawks game. So I got a chance to see that beautiful arena, the State Farm Arena. If you haven't done so, if you're in Atlanta, go check it out. It is by far the best arena I've ever been in. I mean, a barbershop, 7 bars, a cool VIP loft, a suite. I mean, it's just so much to it. So shout out to her, my fellow National Association of Black Journalists member. But make sure you're subscribed to the Wrestling Wrealm. Like I said, it's different this week because I'm away. Next week I'll be away as well. I'm not sure. I probably will have time to do a show Wednesday evening. I'll probably be tired because I'm coming back. So it might be somewhere around Thursday to do, the Raw and AEW and NXT recap. But we'll see. But I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all of you out there who have continued to share the podcast. Even those who, listen and may not say anything, because that's loyalty. It's like, I don't have to tell you I'm support. I don't have to tell the whole, I don't have to brag and make it seem like I'm the biggest supporter, I appreciate the quiet supporters as well. I love the loud ones and I love the quiet ones. The fact is, you're supporting. So, folks, until the next time, I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you get notified every time the Wrestling Wrealm posts new content.